Imagine a dying campfire blurring into the first city lights. 5,000 years ago, on a bank of the Euphrates, humanity's story turns. A handful of barley seeds anchors us to the land. From surplus grain came the need for granaries, then guards, then rules. Across the globe, this pattern repeated as villages swelled into towns. With new tools, writing to record, money to trade, and bronze to conquer, the very idea of power was transformed. The first cities rose, bringing the challenge of governing not just a tribe, but a society. To govern a society required new inventions. Picture a courier on a paved Roman road, a sealed message in hand. Empires mastered distance, binding territories with engineering and law. Rome offered order through citizenship, China through scholar officials. But it wasn't just armies that traveled these roads. Ideas, like the message of Buddhism, spread across mountains and seas, changing hearts and minds. These passages for exchange soon circled the known world. Caravans creaked across the Silk Road. Sails harnessed the monsoon winds. Silk was traded for glass, paper for pepper. But merchants carried more than goods. They carried stories, beliefs, and invisible passengers. In the 14th century, the Black Death traveled these same routes of prosperity, a devastating reminder that connection carries both promise and peril, a lesson we still learn today. Yet for millennia, an entire hemisphere remained apart. Here, great civilizations rose in isolation. A Maya astronomer charted the heavens. Aztec marketplaces bustled with cacao. Inca engineers built roads that defied mountains. Their worlds, rich with unique traditions, developed entirely on their own terms. Two halves of humanity, poised for an encounter that would change everything. Then the oceans ceased to be barriers and became highways, connecting all the world's continents for the first time. But this new global network was forged in conquest. Ships carried maize and silver east, but also disease west. They carried sugar, and with it, millions of enslaved people into bondage. It was an age of unprecedented profit and unimaginable suffering as new sea lanes redrew the maps of power. But power is always challenged. In workshops and taverns, a new idea fermented, that people are born free, an idea that would topple kings. Revolutions erupted, political and industrial. Steam engines reshaped work, cities, and the very air. Railways and telegraphs shrank distances, fueling new empires and sparking new resistance. This clash culminated in 2 world wars that burned across the globe, redrawing the maps once more. From the ashes, a new world emerged under a nuclear shadow. Superpowers faced off in a cold peace, while across Asia and Africa, new nations raised their flags. Movements for civil and human rights gained momentum. Today, our connections are instantaneous. Digital networks carry our protests and our prayers, reshaping community. We now face challenges on a planetary scale, from editing our DNA to healing a warming climate. The fundamental patterns of history endure, the dance of connection and power, the way our tools shape our beliefs. Understanding this past is the key to navigating the choices that will define our future.